You see, a married woman who is having a sexual affairs or an extramarital affairs with a single guy out there, or with the husband of another woman, or with the guy who had abandoned his own family somewhere, is a disgrace to herself, to her family, and to womanhood. All in the name of fighting for equal right, that since a man can cheat, a woman can cheat better. Hello, you are only wasting yourself. Listen, a man who knows that you are married and is still sleeping with you has no good plans, has no good intentions for you. His plans are to use you, waste you, and dump you, and disgrace you at the end. It can never end well. You don't fight for equal rights. If men are doing it, must you do it as a woman? A married woman? You are a shame even to your children. You are a shame to this present generation. You are a shame to another generation to come. It's better you stop it now and go back to God. Ask for forgiveness. I hope this helps somebody.
Let me tell you the number one reason why women cheat and why we're all so screwed because of it. Women cheat, number one, because of attention. They love attention. It's the new drug. Look at social media. Look at how like everyone gets perked up when they get a like on social media or whatever. So let me explain to you how this kind of can bleed into someone's marriage. So let's say, especially, I was telling someone this the other day, women who were raised and born and always lived their lives as a 5, 6, or 7, okay? These women, they never got complimented much in life. They never got much attention. They were always looking at the 8s, 9s, and 10s who were always getting attention. They never had that attention, right? Now they're married. They're into a marriage 5, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. Again, we're talking about modern day women. I'm not talking about women in the 1990s, 2000 even. Things have changed. So now she has dyed her hair. Maybe she's got extensions. I mean, she's upgraded herself a bit. She had her babies. Maybe she got a mommy makeover. And those things are all fine and dandy to do. You should do those. I'm like, pro do that. Pro do whatever you feel. But here's what happens. A 6 turns into a 6.5. A 6 turns into a 7. And let's say she's, going to your son's soccer games, and now there's this dad that's, there, and he thinks she's good looking, and they start following each other on social media because that's innocent, right? Oh, our kids are on the same team. Like, that's so innocent what I'm doing. But she's like, oh my gosh, she asked me to follow him. So that's a little attention tick right there. Next one, she might even try to test it. She might do a gym selfie, a regular selfie, or post a picture on vacation in a bikini. And if that dude likes it, whoa, that's huge for her. Huge attention. You might as well take, that's a drug. That's equal to a drug. So then they start talking more at these games, and they're talking about a certain topic. So then they start exchanging memes, like, oh, send something funny, like through whatever social media, or maybe they have each other's phones phone numbers at this point. That's when it's getting super inappropriate. But it's the attention. And this is when women fall down that rabbit hole, because they will go ahead and do it. They'll get the attention from the guy, whether they're having the emotional affair, whether it just stays on text and stays on DMs and stays on whatever, or whether it turns into a little peck, or whether it turns into full-blown like schmecks. She's going to get screwed because this guy really doesn't want to be with her. And it's not going to work. Like most affairs, I think only 5% actually work and being married. It's just screwed up. The husband's gonna have to pay her alimony and the kids' child support, and she's gonna be alone, and it's the worst thing to do. I don't say you should do it. I'm just saying this is what's happening. People are destroying their lives, and social media has allowed that to happen. I remember watching a video of this girl that I used to know. She used to be my neighbor. Maybe she's watching this and she knows who she is. But Christian author, I think she's a counselor now. She started posting stuff on social media, and right then I'm like, dude, she is posting it for somebody. These are not normal posts. These are not posted for, it's like, look at this new, loving my new, band shirt. Actually, I don't care if she knows who I'll just give you all the details. Love my new band shirt. I'm like, she's dating someone who's into music. And she show her shoes. She was never like this. She started getting tattoos, and she was always maybe a 6. And I remember I was like, she is absolutely cheating on her husband. Fast forward a few months, husband files for divorce because she cheated on him. You gotta look at the social media. It's so horrible for people. It's not a healthy thing to have social media. I mean, I have it. I get it. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to help people. If I had it my way, I wouldn't have social media. My husband wouldn't have social media. I mean, he barely has social media, actually. He's got, nothing. But that's healthy. Watch out for those 6 and 7s, guys. But other men's attention, the point of this video is other men's attention will ruin a marriage. And people who are 6 and 7s eat that up like they're on a starvation diet. Versus if you married like an 8, 9, 10, they're like, they've always gotten attention. It means nothing to them. So make sure to like, follow, and share this with somebody, anybody.
As somebody who had an affair, one of the hardest things for me with the recovery was when the fog actually lifts and you can't help but think, what the F was I thinking? When you realize you almost gave up your entire family for a pipe dream, for a fantasy, it can hit like a ton of bricks. And even now, when it's been several years later, it can still sometimes hit me when we're having a really good time. I can look at my family and be like, holy crap, I almost lost everything for my selfish, hurting self and wanting to run from my own issues. And it took so much time to get healthy again. So if you're on that line, flirting with coworkers, messaging with an old flame, run now. Take my advice and the advice from several people who lived it and walked it. It's not worth it. Get out and get therapy now. If you've had an affair or are in an affair and you're wanting to get out, there's a few things you need to understand. You probably know by now, if you've had an affair or are in one, how hard it is to leave. Probably multiple times you've tried to stop, and multiple times you get pulled back. And something about affairs that is so little talked about is the fact that they are actually chemically addictive. Because your brain gets so much higher levels of dopamine and serotonin, you actually become chemically addicted to this person. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to be chemically addicted to constantly having affairs. It means that it is so hard to stop it because you go through withdrawals every time that you take a break. So one of the things that you need to do to actually leave is addiction recovery. Download an app, find support groups. It's an addiction and you need out.
So unfortunately, I hear from a lot of guys that I caught my wife in an affair. Or what a lot of these guys think is, I caught her at the early stages before it could go into full-blown affair territory. I caught her like maybe just texting a man, or I saw some little email or a phone message or something that makes the guy go, uh-oh, what's going on here? So unfortunately, what a lot of guys do is they go right to the wife with the information that they say, and they go, what is this? And what a lot of wives do in this situation is say, no, there's actually not much going on here at all. What you see is it. We've just been texting, and that's it. And the man is in such a state of anxiety and in such a state of hope that he just takes that at face value and says, oh, whew, okay, good, thank goodness. And then something else will come out to make him go, it appears that it's more than texting. Did you actually meet up with this guy? And the wife will say, yeah, I mean, okay, we had coffee once, okay? That was it, though. It was just coffee. Phew, at least it's just coffee and not a full-blown affair, right? Again, the guy has false hope. The guy's just experiencing all this anxiety. He's willing to believe whatever it is that she will tell him. And then something else will come out, and it was just a kiss. Nothing more. We just kissed, okay? You see where this is going. This is a common phenomenon that is known as the trickle truth, or trickle truthing. You're getting just a little bit of the truth at a time. Very, very common in this scenario. They can't just throw everything out all at once. Whatever the evidence is uncovering, it will just let out just a little bit at a time. Guys, very often, if you catch your wife in what's known as an emotional affair, from my experience after talking to so many men that have gone through this, more often than not, it doesn't stop at just emotional affair. I'm sorry. It doesn't take much for an affair to skyrocket and go from that little bit of an emotional connection to a full-blown physical and emotional connection, and eventually even falling in love. That happens surprisingly fast. Again, an affair is just this powder keg, this perfect storm of all these pieces that come together. It's the new relationship. It's the forbiddenness. It's the sneaking around. It's all these things all come together to form this extremely hypersexual and hyper addictive thing that doesn't stay emotional or at stage one very long. Just by virtue of how our brains work and how human nature works, it can't stay at that point. It has to continue on, or else both people just go nuts. So when some poor schmuck comes up to me and says, I caught my wife's affair at this very early stage before it got physical, thank God. I have to stop myself from saying, dude, sorry. But eventually the truth comes out, and sure enough, there's always more lurking under the surface.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Everyday with Laura Young. If you've not yet subscribed, this is the right time to do so. Kindly click on that subscribe button and turn on the notification for more videos from me. Thank you. If you've watched all the videos before this particular clip in the video, we are talking about women cheating on their husbands or their boyfriends, and we're just talking about the reason why. Okay, in one of the clips, someone actually basically stated it out clearly. Usually when a woman is cheating on their spouse, it's usually because of a combination of three things, except if the person in question is not someone that already has that kind of agreement with their husband, already is living that kind of lifestyle, like I am a cheat, I'm a cheat. I'm talking about someone who has already decided to be faithful to their husband, faithful to their spouse, but then ended up cheating. Now, it's usually because of a combination of three things. Number one, they're not happy with their life. Then they're not now happy with their relationship with their spouse. And then there is a trigger. So, number one, they're not happy. They're just not happy. Maybe they're not happy because they've not reached a goal in their life. They're 40 years old with no job, or they have a job, but I thought that by 40 years they would have been higher in their profession, something like that. So they're just not happy. And then in the relationship might not be tumultuous, might not be very, very stressful. It might just be that, oh, yesterday Tom, my husband, did not greet me well, or we had a little quarrel yesterday. But then we don't usually have quarrels, but we had quarrel yesterday and we did not talk to each other until this morning. Something like that. Or it could be much, much more like a really, really bad, horrible relationship. And then number three, there could be a trigger. Maybe the person lost their job, or maybe the daughter, the teenage daughter, is acting out. The teenage daughter has been a model student for years, and then yesterday police had to call them that, oh, they arrested their daughter for drunk driving, something like that. A trigger in the home, and then they start looking for another place to distress, and another place that is not familiar to distress. And that is where you start hearing things like, oh, I don't know what happened. I started talking about my issues to my co-worker, my male co-worker, and then one thing led to the other, and we ended up having sex. So there's usually triggers. There's usually a situation where she's just not happy with her life. It has nothing, and in this point, it has nothing to do with the spouse. She's just not happy with her life. And then maybe there is a little bit of discomfort or stress in the relationship with her spouse, or a big stress with the relationship with her spouse. So it's usually a combination of those three things. Like I said, it's an exception if this spouse in question has already decided to live that kind of life, a life that involves cheating on their spouse. They were never intending to be faithful to their spouse in the first place. So that is just an exception. All right. So that is why. How to deal with it? You need someone to talk to. You need someone to talk to. You have to first of all change within yourself first before your outside situation will change. And how you change it within yourself if you do not even want to change? So you have to decide that you actually want to change and be ready to put in the work to change. All right. Now, I cannot tell you everything about how to change or how to improve in this aspect in this particular video. I'm going to make a video for that. All right, and I'm going to link it in the description below once it is ready. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to also comment in the comment section and let me know what you think about women that cheat on their spouse. All right, and how to deal with it. You know, you can also share your experiences in the comment section below as well. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and click on that subscribe button and turn on notification for more videos from me. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.